Hello, welcome to another video by Critical Movement YYC. We're going to look at releasing strain around the hip sockets, not the hips we measure our pants at, but right in the hip socket. Now, when your nervous system likes to hold on to tension to try and protect you, if you've been in pain, you know what I'm talking about. This one is one of those ones you have to play with. All right? Because it's easy for our minds to think of, we're just going to go there and hold it and kind of wiggle it around. But this is a whole entire journey, meaning from the very beginning, you have to work on getting the nervous system to be able to let go of that hip so your arms can do the work. You'll see what I mean in a second. All right, so depending on what you have, I have a bath towel here, which I'm going to use for my lower back. I folded it into thirds. Okay. Now, depending on your lower back, you may want to roll long edge to long edge so that it's a thin roll. Okay. I'm going to roll it short edge to short edge so it's a little bit thicker and it's going to allow my tailbone to drop down. Now, when I talk about the tailbone dropping down, if you look at the spine, the movement that we're going to make is down here. It's just this movement here, okay? When your body's used to compensating, it's going to try and do this and bend higher rather than just this little bit right down here, these couple lower vertebrae, all right? So that's where we're working on in terms of the movement aspect. And then we're going to work on the loosening up of the hip socket. Okay? So I want you to roll a towel up. Typically in critical alignment therapy, we use a thin roll. And my lower back does not like that. It's too much. So I like using this. It's just a little bit smaller, all right? This is gonna go in my lower back. Now, here's the thing. You need one more piece of equipment. I'm gonna use this strap, but by all means, you can use a towel, okay? Use a towel, use a yoga strap. I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna put this roll in my lower back, okay? Not down low supporting my pelvis, but up just where, if you remember looking at the spine, just in the middle where my tailbone's going to be able to move down. And I'm going to start in this position where my pelvis is lifted a little bit. I'm just taking the weight of the roll in my lower back and I'm just hanging out right here. Now, if you're watching this video, you've done the work, you know all the rules, so we're going to go into paying attention to the breath, heaviness, softness, feeling grounded, working with the inhale, finding some lightness, some space. There is no pushing, there is no end goal, and you're exploring this movement. Okay? If your tailbone doesn't reach down to the ground, don't worry about it today. Maybe make the roll smaller for next time. Either way, if I put my hands on my lower ribs at no time in this exercise, should my ribs be lifting up, they're staying low. And I'm hanging out right here. I'm going to drop my tailbone down, bring it up, drop my tailbone down, bring it up, just doing some easy movements. There's a flow to the movement. Okay, there's no rush. It's just an easy flow. All right, I'm going to allow my tailbone to sink down towards the ground. Now, this is the kicker. If your roll is too big and your tailbone doesn't reach the floor comfortably, all right? This shouldn't be a reach and a drop and a press. It should reach fairly comfortably. If it's not comfortable, don't worry about the next movement. I want this roll to be small enough that your tailbone feels like it's dropping down towards the ground, okay? We're just gonna hang out here for a minute, and I want you to feel that your pelvis is getting heavier. My ribs have not lifted up to counteract the movement of my lower back, okay? My ribs are still soft. I'm dropping that tailbone down. Now, breathing. If I'm good, if I'm calm, if I feel like there's no tension, no gripping happening, my nervous system's calm, you can continue. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. This is a playing, an exploration, being curious about this movement. All right, some days are better than other days. That's all. All right, I'm going to use this strap and I'm going to loop it over my right knee. Now, I do not want the leg to do its own movement. I want to use the arms and the strap to completely support the movement of my leg. So my leg is like a dead weight, and I'm going to hold on to this, and I'm going to gently bring my leg up. Now, if you can see, my leg has a little bit of wiggle space, and there's no gripping to it. You're going to notice if your leg is trying to help you. My arms are doing all of the work, and it's just a little bit of wiggle here. It's a little bit of wiggle sideways. It's a little bit of bringing it in. The thing with bringing the knee in, I don't want you to bring it so far in your pelvis has to move. We're keeping that pelvis down, and just explore where your hip can move without having to get the muscles to do it. Your arms, the strap or towel, whatever you're using, is fully supporting that leg. Now, same thing when I lower the leg down. The leg is like dead weight. I'm using my arms to plant that foot down. Other side, taking the strip. I am using my arms. I am not using any movement in my leg. And I am hanging out right here. I'm going to notice, my left leg does not have the same wiggle in the hip as my right leg did. Okay? This is getting a bit better. But when I feel that there's a restriction in the movement, I go back to where I can control it, where my arms can control it, not my leg. My leg is just wiggling around, being supported by the strap, not needing to do anything. That hip flexor, the glute, the adductors, abductors, all of those muscles, they're not doing anything. And I'm going to slowly lower that leg down without using any of those muscles. All right? I'm going to switch sides again. One more time each side. Now remember, when you do this at home, you can do a few times each side. Play with it. Okay, listen to your nervous system. I'm going to bring this leg up. Notice I'm just bringing the leg up. My arms are doing the movement. That's it. My upper body stays nice and still. Ribs are soft. Tailbones dropping down towards the ground. Little bit of wiggle. I can do some circles, but my hip isn't trying to grip in any way. Good. I'm going to place that foot back down. One more time, left side. Strap or towel goes over the leg, bringing this knee up. Little bit of wiggle. Okay, little bit of movement. I can feel how my left side is really, it's wanting to try and take over. It's just a bit of using my breath, keeping that focus. And seeing where I can keep that softness in the leg. All right, I'm going to place that leg back down on the ground. All right. From here, you can roll over onto your side. Remember, when you roll onto your side, it's pelvis, shoulders, head all at once. Or I'm going to plant my feet. I'm going to lift from my belly button, not my pelvis. My belly button lifts up. I can feel those muscles in my lower back. They contract. Here comes my dog. You've been so good, and now you're coming in to say hi. Okay, but I don't need any help right now, honey. I'm okay. Okay, can you go lie down? You go lie down, or lay down right there. Okay, so she's gonna lay down right there. All the way down. Down. Okay, she's not gonna be able to show you little bridge, but if you've watched my other videos, you know that lifting in little bridge isn't the pelvis lifting, tailbone tucking lift. It's from the belly button, and you feel those muscles in your lower back contract. You can do that a couple times. Play with it. And again, lift all the way up. Thanks, Luna. Okay? You can pull the roll out from under you. Put that off to the side. And then lower down. I'm just going to lower down one vertebrae at a time. Let that slowly drop down. Pelvis relaxes. And then I can roll over. Either way, this is Luna. Oh, not making it easy to roll over. So that's getting into the hip socket and finding how you can play with letting that soften. A lot of times muscles love gripping, especially if you have a limp for some reason. If you're walking on one side more so than the other, knee injury, ankle injury, hip injury, lower back injury, all these things can cause a bit of a limp. And remember, we're not symmetrical. We never will be, but we can work towards balance. So if you notice one hip doesn't want to let go of that grip, work on that. Play with it. Be curious about the movement. Apart from that, that's it. And enjoy. Any questions, please let me know. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.